Okay, David, unpopular opinion. I do not understand why everybody is moving to Buford.
I think it's, I mean, I understand why people move to Buford. Buford has one of the best school districts in the county or the state. They also have great athletics. So people that, are looking to advance to the next level in athletics are going to Buford because Buford's getting people into colleges. They're getting them in IL deals and they're playing at the next level. But I think as an overall, a lot of your suburbs like Suwanee, Buford, Sugar Hill, even Lawrenceville, Snellville, like all of these suburbs of Atlanta are trying to draw the younger population, the younger generation out of the city of Atlanta, and they're giving them what they had in Atlanta on a little bit of a smaller scale, obviously. But you've got Gas South Arena that's in Gwinnett that has a lot of sporting events and music events and stuff like that are there that you don't have to go to the city of Atlanta to enjoy. But also, again, your suburbs, they're creating these kind of live, work, play areas where you can, live close to downtown. You can walk to restaurants. You can walk to shops. They have concerts on the green, and they have 5Ks and charitable events and stuff like that they're hosting in these downtown areas that are drawing people in. So, Buford is a very popular area for that, but also a lot of your other suburbs are doing the exact same thing.
I do like the downtown, like the center areas that we have everywhere. I frequent those a lot. I really do enjoy downtown Buford, but their houses are on top of each other, and that's the part that I don't get, because I'm like, if I'm building $1 million house, I do not want to be able to see into my neighbor's kitchen.
Yeah. Well, I think the other issue with that is, especially in Gwinnett County, is there's not a whole lot of land to build on. And this happened, in the city, inside the perimeter 20, 30, maybe even 40 years ago, with the infill housing, where, people wanted to be close to their jobs. They wanted to be close to, activities and things that they could do. So their only option at that point was to tear down a house that was built in the 50s or 60s and build a 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 square foot home. So you're seeing a lot of that in Buford too, that infill housing, where you'll see, these older ranch homes, and then right next door you'll see a 2-story on a basement that's 3,000 plus square feet that's over $1 million.
Yeah. The one thing that I see in the Buford downtown area that you don't see anywhere else is the golf carts. Like they're just taking the golf carts from their house, and that cracks me up.
Yeah. I think it's great. I mean, Peachtree City did it a long time ago, and they actually have golf cart paths and, areas where you could drive their golf carts. But I think that's becoming more popular. Brazelton has the Brazelton Life Path, where they have wider sidewalks for golf carts to where you can really go to eat, dining places and, some shopping on your golf cart.
That's so fun.
There's a lot of 55 and older communities up in that area, and a lot of those peoples are dropping a car. They'll have one car that will get them to, go see their family, go to doctor's appointments, stuff like that, but then they're taking the golf cart to go eat or to even go to the grocery store.
Let's talk about Brazelton, actually. It's funny that you mentioned that, because you have had a lot of 55 and older clients that they gravitate to Brazelton, and even like a specific neighborhood. But do you think that's why they're looking at Brazelton? Because like it's a little farther out, but they have the, everything's nearby and they can take a golf cart. I mean, I'm saying if I was like older, I mean, that would be kind of fun. Like, Granny and Grandpa are heading to the Buffaloes.
Yeah, it definitely happens. I mean, another thing is you've got the hospital out there. So, I think that's something that people in that age range think about. It's like, okay, if I have a medical issue, how quickly can I get to the hospital, or how quickly can they get to me?
Yeah, that's valid. I never thought about that really, but having proximity to your doctors and the hospital when you're older is really wise.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you've got some great churches out there that people attend. They've got great restaurants and great shopping out there. So you really have everything you need there. And then, of course, you've got good access to 85. So if you needed to, if you had family that was a little further away or needed to get to the airport or whatever, it's not, it's a reasonable commute to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And you're not in the hustle and bustle of, the downtown area, downtown Atlanta, or, even some of the more populated places around Gwinnett County.
Right. That's interesting. I've just been thinking about the places, like as you're talking, the places that we've been going to most often that people are interested in. So Brazelton was one of them. The other one is Flowery Branch, which I would say, like, if we were not Swanee residents and not looking to be Lake residents in our retirement age, I would be looking at Flowery Branch. I really like that area.
I think it's a great area. I think in the past it's been one of those kind of like flyover towns where, it's like people coming from, Gwinnett County or even Fulton County, which kind of just pass through there going to the lake, going to Lake Lanier. And now it's really become a very popular place. There's a lot of new construction that's going on out there. And I think that that's driving people. And then I think Flowery Branch has also done a really good job of establishing their downtown area, giving people some good coffee shops and places they can walk. I was recently with a client there, and they're like, "Hey, do you want to have lunch?" And I was like, "Yeah, that'd be great." And they're like, "Do you have a place you want to go?" And I'm like, "Absolutely."
Mooney's?
Every time I'm in Flowery Branch, I go to Mooney's Barbecue. And it's just this small, barbecue restaurant in Flowery Branch that has phenomenal barbecue.
It's so good. And their sides are really good too.
Yeah.
Now I want barbecue. So shout out to my favorite places in Flowery Branch, because I love Whole Bean Cafe. Not only is that coffee amazing, but they actually have some really good pastries and sandwiches and stuff. And then but you'll have to check their website for hours, because they are not open on Monday. And so went over there one time on a Monday and was severely disappointed, but went a couple of doors down to Caroline's, which is this cute little place that's all pink. It's a total girl spot. But they had beignets, and I'm from New Orleans, so that excited me because they were very true to New Orleans style, so love that place too. But going back to you talking about the new construction, so you've had a few clients that have purchased new construction homes in 2 different communities actually up there, and so I'm just curious, because I can't remember, but is there a price difference? Like, is that one of the reasons people are going there?
It definitely is more affordable to purchase in Flowery Branch right now than it is, say, in other places in Gwinnett County. It is a little bit further out. It's not too far out. You still have everything that you need, but home prices are a little bit more affordable there for people to be able to purchase something and keep their payments where they need to be. And these are not, small homes. I mean, one of them is a townhome. It's probably it's a little less than 2,000 square feet. And then the other house is like 2,800 square feet.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's still a good size home, but it's more affordable. But they still have all the luxuries that they're looking for in that area that they would get in Gwinnett County with a little less traffic.
Yeah. So the last one I want to talk about, this one really was never on my radar, but you have been going out to Dawsonville a lot lately, again for new construction, which seems to be, and you can talk a little bit about this, like seems to be where a lot of people are looking at right now. So Dawsonville, for some reason in my mind before we started frequenting there, was like way out there. So it is a little further out there, but it really, they've built that up to be quite a nice place to live. Like, you have all the things you would want. They've always had those Dawsonville outlets, but they have quite a few like restaurants and shopping areas like around that outlet that are super fun, super awesome. But yeah, so talk a little bit about why Dawsonville, because people have been really interested in that recently.
Yeah, I mean, I think the draw is that you're a little further out. It's a little less congested at this point, but you still have great access to 400. So you can easily access 400, and you can get, south, or you can go north and you can go to Dahlonega. So you're kind of in between there. I think, we've talked about it before, but like when people have the opportunity to work at home, that allows them to expand their area of where they're able to purchase. Dawsonville is a lot more affordable, but again, you still have good access. And then, there's the outlet malls, there's, any type of shopping or dining that you can think of out there. And I think it's really neat with a lot of these these town centers. They have a lot of kind of mom and pop places. They definitely have your chains. They've got their Home Depot and their Targets and Walmarts and grocery stores, but they also kind of like your coffee shops that you were talking about. They have really great little mom and pop restaurants that or coffee shops that are really good and that a lot of people frequent.
The other thing that I think is really appealing about Dawsonville is the proximity to the lake. I don't know if everybody realizes how much of Lake Lanier is actually near Dawsonville.
Yeah, so there are actually, parts of Lake Lanier that are in Dawsonville. It's definitely the northern part of the lake, which, again, are a lot of times where people want to frequent, because on the south side of the lake is where most of the, boats are and most of the activity is going on. So the further north you get on the lake, the more quiet it is, the more you can kind of enjoy, just kind of getting out on the water and relaxing. Even if you wanted to head south and get to a little more populated area with more going on, Dawsonville is maybe a 30-minute ride from the Gainesville coming area. So you can even enjoy the things that are there, but also get to a little bit more populated part of the lake as well.